Hi guys, and welcome to May Is Your Ex Coming Back series. So this is dedicated to the people who kind of like still have this connection to their ex, or they're feeling the ex might be coming back. Just keep in mind that if you kind of decide in your head that you don't want to take him or her back, that's the final answer. So that kind of like trumps any other influence, and you already know what you're going to do about it. Still, sometimes it's fun to see how they're thinking in their own head. I'm going to show you the significators because I have developed this spread. It took me quite a while to actually find a combination, and you can imagine finding a combination of 7. We have here in Ontario 749, so you pick 7 numbers out of 4 and 9, so I picked 7 numbers out of 78, so actually much harder, so hence it is really difficult to do this. But finally I find something that really works, and these cards are from a different deck. Think of that as the chapters of the book. I'm going to explain to you what they mean. So before I get there, just to let you know that I actually started a first group of tarot school. I'm really excited, and I'm so excited because everybody in the school is like so much fun. It's just like, oh my gosh, you want more? Here, more. If ever in life, you know, one can actually wish for it, this was the one. And oh my gosh, I have to tell you, I am so excited. So the next round is going to be the 15th of May. You can sign up. The link is in the description box. And I actually decided I'll have small, basically groups. Initially, I thought it's going to be a self-study, no guidance of mine. But I'm actually interacting by actually fixing the homework, checking the homework, giving guidance. So hence it's going to be more of my hands-on. So you can join in. Now I'm getting a clear idea how this is going to go. And as I said, it's going to be a limited group, maybe 10 at a time. I kind of like took, I think, quite a bit in this first round, but that's okay because I love how insistent and how basically intense they are, because they're going to make this really good for everybody else who follows. So okay, so let's jump into this. This X spread kind of like has this elements, has this, let's call it dimensions, that I really want to address over here. And they make sense. You see, in this group that is represented with the Magician, I want to see what in this relationship works, and sort of like what are these like brownie points that you can earn like without much effort. So also it's going to tell me if this relationship was ever a go. In the second house, the Temperance is reversed purposely because Temperance usually makes things work. But I really want to see what is tearing this relationship apart and why the issues have been experienced over there. Then we have two significators. One, and I don't go with astrological things, and if you ever go in my school you will understand why. And this is basically telling me what kind of like personality you have to be when you date, because we're not the same person when we date and when we settle in. So hence it's going to be one significator and a second significator. And here, and the cat is trying to destroy my headset over here. Here we are going to see the energy in between, like this like flow of love and exchange and what's going on. And now these two cards, the Judgment, is going to tell me what karma is thinking about this whole mix. Is this doable? Is it workable? How to go about that, right? And lastly, we will have the Four of Wands. Generally, Four of Wands always talks about the next stage. So what is the next stage in this relationship? Is it good? Is it bad? It's going to depend on the sign. And lastly, how I do the signs. Keep in mind that most of us are just humans. I'm sorry, I actually live in a very quiet part of Toronto, really very much to the river and forest, but sometimes we get these noises, especially at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you are watching this because you're still connected, sometimes we have the karmic bond, sometimes like it takes time to get over a relationship, then it is really good to check for both of you. It's also good to check for your partner's Mars sign, because Mars sign tells you really what they want. You can just Google, you know, find the free natal chart for anybody, and you will figure out what is a Mars sign for somebody. And that way we can kind of like determine really what is the really good chance of this relationship. And last point, guys, this is a general reading, so I'm focusing on you, and you already have you and somebody else in mind. You're already holding the energy of not only two main signs, but also their ascendants and everything else. So I'm accumulating all this energy, focusing on it, shuffling the cards toward that energy, and delivering. It is different when I'm doing the private reading, and this spread is on the special. It is still $50. I'm keeping it because when people are in distress, I really don't want to make money of them. The regular price for this is $65, but I have been keeping it discounted. And now it's also a speed up promotion that is happening simultaneously. So instead of waiting 3 weeks for this to come back to you, you're getting it within a week. So it is a good deal to try it. So let's start with Maze. Is your ex coming back? And welcome to your May forecast. So what's going on here is actually kind of interesting, because it looks like simply that you're fed up over here. That, you know, you're saying, look, you know, I have been trying to build this. I kind of bent over myself, and this actually can even talk about there is either a marriage that is under a loop and under the microscope, saying, is this going to work or not going to work? Or it could be that somebody interfered to your relationship to the extent that you're saying, not me, washing my hands over here. Because I do see here that it was lots of arguing, possibly interference of some party. Probably the third party has a really, really strong kind of like hint over here. And the partner is also sort of like not there. You're not feeling that love. You're kind of like a very unique sign, because on the outside, you're giving this flavor of a water sign. You're gentle, you're diplomatic, you're sweet, and you're romantic. But you're not earth sign and you're not water sign. So if you think that something is wrong, you're going to cut it off. And Libra is extremely powerful sign because of that possibility to sort of adopt. And that's why in tarot you're being shown with that sword, right? And with the scale, you kind of do know. You have this built in, what is right, what is wrong. And you're like, all your life you're trying to get that scale in order. Right here, I think you're seeing, oh boy, this is off. This is not working out. Now the devil worries me a little bit, because to me this is codependency card. Whenever I see the devil, especially because you see these are those chains, we need to cut those cords. This kind of talks about, hey, I really want to jump your bones, and it looks like something like that will be happening, because after all, is my ex coming back? Question. And you are kind of willing to be in this kind of arrangement. They are sort of willing to be in that kind of arrangement. So I am not so sure what's the Hierophant reversed. Are you the one that don't want to commit? Or are you the one who is doing something behind somebody's back? I would love to hear that in your comments to see what's up with that. Now the Ace of Pentacles, which is my favorite ace when it comes to relationship, not the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is like a cute guy is winking at you in a bar. It's like, pff, right. But this one is where you actually have a friend with whom, you know, you kind of like have the understanding where you would go with this. Because it shows me here, it could have been somebody in your life. You might have actually two people in your life. You have two knights over here. And it's saying with this one, most likely the one that you're asking about, it's if you can't maintain this, that you're getting involved and not going anywhere, so be it. But there is somebody else on a dark horse who is not that flamboyant, who is actually not flamboyant at all. He might even be very boring, the guy in the corner with glasses. And that guy is offering you himself or herself. That guy, you see this, is offering you this, and you're not even seeing it. So you need to turn around your Libra. This is a really biggie that you might just miss, because something happened that it's making you, I don't want a relationship. Almost like feels like you just, because you're your sign, you actually are capable of being in this friends with benefits kind of relationships without actually being highly damaged about things altogether, right? And this is where kind of like I really admire you, and you're going to do it, and you're going to be still such a big fluffy sweetheart, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, honey, I love you, but off you go now. I want to be alone. I want to sleep on my own. And kind of like Libra is very specific this way. It is my raising sign too, so I kind of like get Libra very much. And also I get obsession about putting things together. I was called preppy more than once in my life because everything has to match: my shoes, my purse and stuff. So yeah, that's where you become a little bit obsessive compulsive. So let's see where this is going. You're kind of realizing, you see, Queen of Swords is also kind of like it could represent you. It's kind of fed up. There is like finally cutting off this. You're obsessing, you don't want to do that, but you're realizing that you have to. It's kind of like non-productive at one point. Whoa, look at that. Up to this point, they were like, oh, I just want to jump your bones, but I don't love you. I don't want to, you know, like when you have this like big kind of macho guys, I don't want to just like, I mean, tell you and promise you more, where this dude should be more than happy to even, you know, be in your company. So he will now say, yeah, you know, I'm choosing you, and, you know, I do want to go there, but trust me, that's not necessarily true. Look at his Pentacles and the Hermit. This actually really applies very much on Libra that is close to Virgo. You guys somehow are building up your walls. You kind of have a feeling what you want, and this is a really good card. I really love Hermit. Hermit also relates to Aquarius, by the way, and not many people know that. Many people miss the obvious clue that this star is a star, and it is the 8-pronged star. It is kind of like talking about healing, but this Hermit here is talking about, look, when you do everything, when you celebrate, when you merge, you still have to be in peace with yourself. You still have to understand yourself. It's a very, very powerful card, because here you don't get to sit and people tell you who you are. You are the only person who can determine your own happiness. And you're kind of getting it, because this is sort of like understanding that maybe you reached that certain things cannot continue. I can see you are like stopping this kind of like nonsensical, you know, involvement. You're building these walls probably to repair whatever it needs to be repaired inside, because you're realizing, as long as I'm doing this, I cannot focus on somebody who probably will be good for me. And here you're realizing I need to redefine what is really, really, really important to me and what isn't. This person, as I said, could be married. This could be that person reappearing, and you might be having a guilt conscious, kind of like the feeling of guilt about the situation, or but they may have forgotten to tell you. But at this stage you kind of like already knew that. It's kind of like the situation that kind of got complicated because of a whole bunch of little white lies. And look at that. There is this karma card showing up over here. So, boy, this really feels like Mercury retrograde. So you're getting the Magician reversed. First of all, look at this. This category is supposed to mean, hey, what is working for you in your relationship? Is this relationship ever a go? And it says, no, there is somebody else. You need to find yourself first, and you need to cut off the crap. And you are doing this. Getting clarity. This is kind of like getting clarity on the outside, and here is like your own inner thing. And you are finding that either this is you, and with this person you kind of like just don't see yourself happily married. And you do know that you can create stuff. Magician is creator in the up or down. But this is more or less, you know, creating things that you shouldn't be creating. And this kind of worries me over here, to be honest, because it keeps telling me this will continue. How much longer you want to continue when you did manage to get to this point? Why? But you're continuing this with feeling that you can kind of control the situation. Because the Chariot, though, but keep this in mind, because look at this major arcana is now showing up here. The Chariot is saying, Chariot is a single person. Now, kid yourself not. Somebody, this also can mean trouble. Are you maybe planning vacation with this person? You're saying, oh, what the heck? I'll go to the vacation with this person. Maybe this is what could be happening. And saying, I'm not going to, you know, like, destroy that for myself. Because after all, you're a little bit kind of like comfort sign. You kind of like, you and Leo have that in common. And but neither Magician nor Chariot are partnered in tarot. They both are solo, and they both have their own agenda. Magician is, whenever he's reversed, he can, it's almost like a black magic. It's almost like, I will just do my stuff. And the Chariot is like moving forward, kind of like having their agenda. It's something that can happen very, very fast. This can also simply mean that you like somebody's car, somebody picking you up, and kind of like you're still kind of going one more time in some kind of go. Because the Judgment card appeared. That's a karmic card, right? You see that I have it as one of the subject, basically titles. Judgment means that now things from the past, both of these cards represent past, are resurfacing. Because look at this, we have a 6. And we have a 6 over here, and we have a 6 over here. There is the karmic soulmate, and karmic soulmate always feels like the devil, feels like we have this chain ties to them. So we chase them through these centuries from one life to another. Did you ever, like, break up with somebody and said, hey, maybe in the next life, or maybe some other time? Well, you made a promise, you made a karmic promise. And you don't know because you don't remember your past life, but this is what's happening. This is saying cut that contract off. You just can't. Look at his 2s. They continue. And this is you, Libra. Your number is 11. This is you. You can't make this decision. Well, not in this period. So it's going to be really interesting what you're going to tell me in your comments. I would love to hear it. And guys, subscribe so you're invited to my live sessions, and hopefully you are going to like and share. And until the next time, love you.